America's birthday is at hand, and what better way to celebrate than starting to get fired up for the true Mr. Patriot himself, fresh off his nuptials, Drake Maye. And you know what? There's no one better than the Drake Maye stan, the Drake Maye apologist, Drake Maye's #1 super fan from WEEI, Scrim himself, Shime Time, joining us here for a little six rings and football thing. So everybody grab your bevies, split your glizzies, and let's get ready to roll with a fresh six rings and football things with Fitzy and Shime. And it starts right now.
Hey, whatever it takes, man. It's all about winning, all right? Winning on three. 1, 2, 3, win!
Celebrating the heroes of Foxborough's past.
And with a good block. Look at Grover. All the way. Watch the block of number 73, John Hanna.
The champions of the dynastic era.
Adam Vinatieri moves a 48-yard field goal, and the Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
The Patriots of tomorrow.
We're going to remove entitlement from our football team. We're going to earn the right to be here every single day.
And the fans whose faith never wavers.
Let's go!
This is Six Rings and Football Things.
If Drake Maye is their breakout player, if he really takes that next step, oh, baby, this is going to be a fun season for the New England Patriots, and I think just a fun season overall for that offense and for Drake Maye. So you ended up going with Maye. Is it simply the fact that we just have a lot of faith in him and in who he is as a player, or is there something specific about what happened this offseason that makes you feel good about him?
You know, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I like the speed that they've added. I like what they've added at receiver with Stephon Diggs and Kyle Williams, and then Travion Henderson at running back, the offensive line with Will Campbell. And I think, to me, it's actually a similar vibe like Caleb Williams and the Bears, where it's just, it better be Drake Maye. He better be the guy that breaks out, because that's really what you need to move forward as a franchise, even though I think that.
Yeah, that's right. It better be Drake Maye. It better be Maye who breaks out this season for the Foxborough football franchise to have the success that it seems like an anticipatory world is predicting for your New England Patriots. And I thought it would be a perfect way to head into the 4th of July, as we are 3 weeks out from the start of Patriots training camp 2025. Holy smokes. Catch up with the times, Fitzy. Yeah, cracking into those 4th of July bevs a little early there, Pops. To talk a little Drake Maye and catch up on everything else with one of our cast members here on Six Rings and Football Things, the indomitable, the indubitable, the unstoppable Chris Shime, a.k.a. Scrim, a.k.a. Shime Time, a.k.a. the DVOA hole. Shime, great to have you back on the pod, as always, my guy. How excited are you 3 weeks out from the start of camp with football 66 days away for your New England Patriots?
Fitzy, thanks for having me, bud. And I am so beyond excited. I have been thinking about nothing but football for probably close to almost a month now. Like, it's just been, it's all I've wanted. It's all I've been thinking about. The Red Sox don't do it for me. The Celtics have been done for a while. The Bruins free agency did nothing for me. So here I am sitting here getting thrilled and excited for training camp to really heat up, and the preseason. I mean, we have football this month, Fitzy. July 31st.
Right. I saw the tweet.
Hall of Fame game.
I saw the tweet. That's right. This is the first month with football, and we don't go a month without football for 7 months. July, August, September. No, the next 8 months will involve professional football in our lives, which I love. And I especially love knowing that we should have a competitive, a relevant, and honestly, a very intriguing football team this year. Not in the talk ourselves into, yeah, what's it going to look like when a defensive coordinator runs the offense type? Or, hey, what's it going to look like when Bill Belichick finally ruins Mac Jones? Or, hey, what is Gerard Mayo's clown show on fire really going to look like on the football field? No. This is Mike Vrabel. This is Drake Maye. This is Josh McDaniels. This is hundreds of millions of dollars of free agency money. This is a really good draft, and this is going to be a fundamentally sound football team that I still think can make some noise and play meaningful games all the way through the 2025 calendar year. But Shime, it starts with the quarterback. We can play all the fun games we want of who's the most important Patriot, who's the guy under the most pressure, which second-year player, free agent do you expect to deliver on their expectations and more. But it all really centers around the second-year quarterback out of UNC, freshly married, back from his honeymoon in the Caribbean. Now he is ready to dial in. He was even at Wimbledon recently. I know Big Teddy Johnson on the afternoon show said he was psyched about that because it looks like Drake is elevating his profile, taking his stature as a star and a man on the rise seriously now. Got his personal business out of the way, and now he's having a little fun, and it's going to be all football. And you made a little noise on the Greg Hill show recently when you talked about what you thought proper or expected numbers for success for Drake Maye would be in 2025. And I think yours are a little closer to earth, reality, and what actually has worked in the past for young quarterbacks under Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I look at it from the perspective of he was on a really bad team last year with a terrible roster. And although we like some of the additions to the roster, like it's not that much better. Like it's better, but it's not leaps and bounds better than it was. He'll have better coaching and the roster will be slightly better, but like I don't expect meteoric rise from where we were last year into like an MVP candidacy. I think that's insane to expect that based on what is around him and the situation itself. Like this is his first year with Josh McDaniels. A lot of people like Will Campbell. We still don't know if he's going to play left tackle for 17 games. Hell, we don't know who's playing left guard at all for 17 games.
No, we don't. I can't. You can't even tell me right now who the starting center is going to be because I know it should be Garrett Bradbury because he's the guy they paid, but he could very well lose out to Cole Strange or Jared Wilson, Ben Brown from last year, the cast-off who came in for the final 2/3 of the season when David Andrews was hurt, or Jared Wilson, the upstart rookie from Georgia who everybody loves, but has been a little dinged up under the hood before training camp.
Yeah, and on top of that, then you bring in Morgan Moses as well. Like Morgan Moses is a good football player, but he's coming off a knee injury. He's at right tackle. Like, is he going to last for 17 games? Is he going to be able to even play 17 games? And then Stephon Diggs is a good ad, but again, we don't know if he's even going to be ready for week 1. He may not be ready until, October. And if that's the case, there's 4 weeks of your season. A quarter of your season is just gone. And without Stephon Diggs, and the wide receiver group outside of Stephon Diggs hasn't improved all that much. I really like Kyle Williams. I'm a big Kyle Williams guy. But you can't expect a rookie wide receiver to have like an elite start to a season. Normally those rookie receivers really take off in the back half of the season. So like, I think the people that are demanding and expecting some kind of insane numbers year from my guy, Drake Maye, who I've been the biggest supporter of since even before he was a Patriot. Like, I think it's insane.
I think we kind of have to sort of like stem the excessive expectations, curb the enthusiasm when it's in regards to Drake Maye being a top 5 fantasy stud or like 38 touchdown. Like he's not going to put up Peyton Manning's numbers from Peyton Manning's second year when he went from leading the league in interceptions year 1 to leading the league in touchdown passes year 2. That's not to put a cap on the kid's ceiling. Like this guy could ultimately very well be the limit for him, but you added so many new players, a new head coach. He's learning a new offensive system. He does have a guru who seems more than apt and capable to guide him in his sophomore season. I won't say undo any programming from last year, but perhaps work on some of his turnover-laden tendencies or any sort of bad habits he may have picked up at the tail end of college or in his first year in the NFL. Everything is lined up for Drake Maye to go the right way. I too like Kyle Williams. I'm not expecting Terry Glenn 1996 with 90-something catches, 1,100 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And it's a shame that the Patriots don't have any second-year wide receivers primed to make that, impressive leap. Rome Odunze this year should be a fantasy stud. I'm expecting that with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams in his second year and a high pedigree. You may even see it from Jalen McMillan in that insane wide receiver room down there in Tampa, and Marvin Harrison Jr. looks like he could take on Ted Johnson at this point. My God, that dude
looks
is
like
yoked
he's going to
up.
be in the new Superman movie coming out next week.
Seriously, if I were David Cornsweet in a Superman outfit, I wouldn't want to fight Marvin Harrison Jr. right now. He could take on the last son of Krypton, but
you're damn right.
Those guys are primed for a breakout. Jalen Polk and Javon Baker are hoping to just make a roster for God's sakes, let alone, breakout. You are talking, of course, to the resident chief cheerleader from the Travion Henderson Appreciation Society and Fan Club. I think he's going to add a lot to the team. Both of us are super excited about him as well. And of course, Patriots living legend.
Nobody's more excited about Travion Henderson than me.
Yes. Oh my God, let's go, Shime. You got it?
Yeah. Shout out to Stacey James of the New England Patriots hooking it up. It was I had been demanding, they still hadn't. And then the day they released his jersey number, that jersey appeared in the studio for me. And so a shout out to Stacey James.
Unbelievable. Wow. Shout out Stacey James. Shout out Patriots. Shout out Travion Henderson. Impact rookie on the Patriots offense, no doubt. Again, all these things are, and of course, like I was mentioning, living Patriots legend and future Hall of Famer Efton Chisholm III. He's not going to be, guys, let's all just relax. He's not going to be 2011 Wes Welker. Okay. Let's just hope he makes the team and starts to contribute in a positive way and give the Patriots that coveted, slot shifty third down guy. So Shime, tell me what those numbers were that you floated on the radio recently for Drake Maye that seem successfully realistic, but don't seem to be jibing with people that are projecting absurd, massive growth numbers in year 2 for Drake.
Yeah, and an offense that I don't feel like is equipped with a ton of explosive weapons, and there's a lot of questions on the offensive line. I expect them to want to run the football. That's the one thing I expect this offensive line to be able to do. One of the reasons I'm really high on Travion Henderson this year. I think they're going to run the ball effectively, and Drake Maye's just not going to have the kind of pass attempts that some quarterbacks in the NFL have in year 1, 2, or 10. And so I look at it as, here's where I'm at with Drake Maye. If he comes into season 2 and from a passing perspective, throws for over 3,800 yards, closer to that 4,000 range, but over 3,800, more than 20 touchdowns. So at minimum 21 or more, and then 12 or less interceptions. Like, that's kind of where I'm looking with Drake Maye, because I think all of those numbers, the touchdown number would put him in the top half of the league. It would put him tied for 14th. Tied for 13th in passing touchdowns. In passing yards, it would put him about 12 interceptions. I feel like that's really kind of limiting a number that we felt might have started to get a little out of control last year, right? That turnover number, if you can limit it into that 12 range in a total 17 game season, instead of only playing the 13 full or 12 full games that he even played, I think is a really good spot to be in. And it's really realistic. It's not like he's not going to be an MVP candidate, but he's going to be a top half of the league quarterback, and coming off a year that was just a kind of pathetic organization and a dysfunctional offense, now being an established top half of the league quarterback in year 2 is exactly the kind of progression you want to see.
Precisely. That's all. Again, I'm not looking for Patrick Mahomes 2018, 2020.
You can't expect that. The Chiefs were a playoff team the year before. And Lamar Jackson was on a playoff team the year before.
Exactly. I'm not looking for Josh Allen, who's been to the playoffs every season from 2019 to date. So I don't need 2020 or 2021 Josh Allen either. I just need those safe bowling bumper lanes of productivity with a higher touchdown to turnover rate than last year, fewer fumbles, just positive yards. And, I have a feeling Pats fans may get a little frustrated early in the year when the Patriots might find themselves, even with this vastly improved defense, in some games where they're going to need some points, and they're going to try to run the ball more and not just tell Drake, go out there and rip it 50 times. Grip it and rip it is not going to be the mantra for the start of, if not the majority of, the Pats offense. Shime, I've been professing, I believe this is going to be a power run team that's going to use the pass as an offensive complement for the majority of the season. You got Ramondre Stevenson looking to prove something after a very down 2024 that didn't include the Bengals opener, the win in Cincinnati. He's slimmed down. He understands his job is on the line. Gibson's looking for one final contract probably in the NFL and was the better running back of the two last year. And then, of course, our expectations are through the roof for Travion Henderson, who everyone says the speed is different of, has the softest hands outside of the freaking hamburger helper, and never puts the ball on the ground. Like, there's a reason to. And if Will Campbell's having a tough time holding blocks against Jalen Phillips and some of the elite passer, or TJ Watt and freaking Max Crosby, it's a hell of a first month, by the way, for your boy over there at left tackle. And we have question marks across the rest of the offensive line as well. Run the damn ball. Run the damn ball, set up the pass, and let Drake come to try to understand all the Jedi Temple teachings of Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I just think you're going to be able to run, like, Will Campbell, I have questions about at left tackle because of pass protection. I don't have questions about him in the run game. Like, I know he can run block. I've seen it. I've watched it. I know he can do it. And in the NFL, I know that'll translate. And so I think in that Josh McDaniels offense, like, this team's going to be able to run the football. They're not going to want to pass a lot. They're going to want to run the football, control the ball, and then win that way and with defense. Like, they spent the majority of their offseason money on defense, and they did it for a reason. They want that to be the identity of this team. They do not want to be the second year Joe Burrow Bengals where he throws it 600 times because they don't have Jamar Chase. They don't have T. Higgins on this roster. Guys like that don't exist here. So unfortunately, what you have to do is run the football, control it, and then play good defense and try and win the turnover battle that way. And that's exactly how this offense is going to operate. And with that in mind, Josh Allen's passing stats last year weren't insane. I know he won the MVP, but he only threw for 3,700 yards and 28 touchdowns.
Because James Cook ran like a mother effer last
year. 18 touchdowns.
And you wonder why he put his house up for sale, unfollowed the Bills, and is trying to angle for 15 big every year, like Josh Jacobs, because he had a Josh Jacobs-like season in Buffalo.
100%. Expect like Drake Maye to have those kind of modest across the board good numbers, and then on top of it, add 400 or 500 yards rushing and maybe 5-6 touchdowns on the ground. Like, then you're talking about, a 4,200 total yard season with nearly 30 touchdowns. And I think that's kind of like the best case scenario here.
Yeah. So we got a couple questions that are coming through in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's watching live right now on the WEEI and Fitzy GFY socials as we record the latest six rings and football things. Always available on the Odyssey app, now available on the iHeart app. And of course, you can always follow us on Spotify and Apple Pods as well. Shime, let me throw, before we get to some of these questions, like here's a comment from Joey Zaguire, regular here on Six Rings. My confidence is with Mike Vrabel. He's going to put up the team in a great position to win, baby. And I understand that. Lest we forget that it was, I believe, Mike Giardi who recently said the offseason MVP for the Patriots was Mike Vrabel. And it should have been. So far, no one else has, it's not Milton Williams. It's not Christian Barmore, who Jeff Stenberg asked about in our chat. What's up with him? He's posting videos, running faster, training harder. Looks the best he has looked since he got drafted in 2021 in the second round by the Pats out of Alabama. He's looking good. And if that, fingers crossed, blood clot issue holds up for him and it's part of his past and not his future, and he can put that in the rear view, then he and Milton Williams could potentially combine to be a dominant force on the defensive line with Spillane, with Gonzo, with Carlton Davis, like you mentioned. Leading the Patriots to be defensive first. It's going to be D first, hold the line, be smart with the football, don't turn it over, and win these games, hopefully, 2017, 21-20, whatever you have to do. It's going to be definitely whatever it takes, like they say in the intro to the podcast, to win early on. So along the lines of your numbers, Shime, real quick, let me throw a couple of these out at you. Okay. How would you feel this season if this were the stat line for Drake Maye? 352 passes completed out of 521 attempts, 68% completion, 3,801 yards, 22 tutties, 13 picks, 130 rush yards, 0 rushing touchdowns.
I'd be disappointed in the rushing numbers. I'm pretty sure you just recited like Mac's rookie season to me.
I 100% did just recite Mac Jones's rookie season, which was 10-7 with a defense I don't think is nearly as good as this one could potentially be.
And you forget that defense was top 5 in the league that Mac Jones had. Like, when you go back and look at that, like, that defense was one of the best defenses in football. I think they were number 2 in points allowed all season long. And I think they were number 4 in yards per game.
No shit.
Like, that defense was, that defense was insanely good. I don't expect that defense to be that good. And that's one of the reasons why I have Drake Maye's numbers in kind of the same stratosphere, right? Like, passing wise, they should almost be very similar to what Mac Jones did his rookie year. But then you add the 400-500 yards rushing and 5-6 rushing touchdowns, then it kind of bolsters that up a little bit. But I just don't think that he's going to have the same kind of short fields that Mac Jones had. He's not going to have the same kind of, maybe not necessarily the same kind of close games or opportunities that offense had back in 2021, just because this defense isn't going to be as good as that defense was. I think this defense is going to be so much better than last year.
Markedly.
Light years better.
Now is
But
Mina Kimes' season when she should be saying this is a top 10 defense. I'm with you.
But to assume that they're going to be a top 5 defense in football seems a little ridiculous to me. Like, I want them to be top 10. Pushing top 5 is a big ask, but they need to be right around. I think that's the kind of improvement and that leads to Drake Maye again having a better season, being in better positions on a regular basis.
2 other stat lines for you. 327 of 516, 63% completion, 3,700 yards, 21 passing touchdowns, 11 picks, 300 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's like kind of close
Matt Castle,
to what I
2008.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I would like the touchdown number just to be like slightly higher. Like in an ideal world, I think that number gets to 25, right? That's kind of where I'd love to be.
Okay.
I expect 21, but I would like to be closer to that 25 number. So look, I just think this is going to be, people need to temper their expectations just for the Patriots team as a whole. It's kind of where I'm at. Like, people are trying to tell me that this is a 10-11 win team.
You sound
That's
like
insane.
Ninkovich on Games with Names when he's like, "Oh, whoa, guys, 10 wins."
They won 4 games for 2 years in a row.
I know. Like he's like 10 wins would be an incredible season. People need to pump their brakes on 11, 12, 13 wins. With all respect and love to my guy Taylor Kyles over at CLNS, 13 wins is the crazy boat to Banana Town. That is just that's outrageous. And I know the schedule is in their favor and they have so much more talent and better coaches. I know.
It's even like only really the first half of the season is. That back half of the season is brutal. You're getting teams like the Ravens and the Bills back to back. Like, are you kidding me? That's stupid. I don't understand.
Oh, the December schedule. The late schedule is just freaking brutal. Hopefully, they're battle tested and have the competitive metal for that. Let me give you the stats before we wrap the Drake section and just get to some news, notes, nuggets, and 4th of July love. All right. I think an optimal Drake Maye season would be 331 of 480, 3,600 passing yards for a 69% completion percentage. Nice. 25 tutties, 9 picks, 890 rush yards, 6 touchdowns.
That's really personally like the yardage number, but that touchdown interception ratio, if he has that, I kind of think regardless of the yardage number, like that is chef's kiss, exactly what you wanted a Drake Maye this year.
That was 2024 Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think he's going to get quite up to the rushing that Jaden has. I think his passing should be a little bit higher, but even if his passing number yardage wise is the same, if he gets you 25 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, like that is the ideal scenario out of Drake Maye that you want to see this year. I think that number, that ratio to me is more important than the yardage.
There you go, Shime. Here's a great place to make some money. Our pal Jeff Stenberg, Tampa resident. I'll be seeing him when I go down to see the Pats play the Bucks in November. Hard Rock has Maye passing touchdowns over under at 19.5 minus 120.
Yeah, that's a hammer all day for me. He had 15 in basically only playing 11 whole games. Like
on one of the shittiest football teams in history.
Yeah, one of the worst offense decade. Like it was Carolina Panthers bad with Bryce Young his rookie year. Like that's where we were at. And so like to me, 19.5 touchdowns, that number is way too low for Drake Maye.
Yeah, and now, by the way, your boy, my guy, Dave Canales, the recovering sex addict, has the Panthers offense primed for a nice little turnaround. I think of the first 4 games, we'll get into all this stuff later on as we get closer to the season. I mean, I'm obviously fired up for the Raiders game. I mean, it's the Raiders. That's
going to be a tougher game than people give it
way
credit
tougher.
For.
Way.
Like I mean, everybody is expecting the Raiders of last year.
Are you kidding?
This
Max
is not
Crosby.
the Antonio Pierce Raiders anymore.
No. They have, first of all, Pete's going to have them all buttoned up. Geno Smith is a massive improvement.
And Geno lit your ass up last year.
He did. And he also didn't, and he had Zach Charbonnet coming in as his running back in that week 2 game. Didn't have Ashton Genty and a head full of rookie of the year steam coming at you in his first freaking NFL. Oh, dude, that game's going to be awesome. But I'm sneaky looking forward to the Carolina game week 4. I think that one could be much like what we're all going to probably partake in tomorrow night. Fireworks. All right, there's a little Drake Maye talk for all you Foxborough fanimals right there. Can you temper your expectations for Drake's stats and his output this year, so long as it results in an improved quarterback, fewer turnovers, and more dubs. You can holler at us anytime. He's at Shime Time. I'm at FitzyGFY. This, of course, is the at Six Rings Pod. Stay tuned because we're going to do a little back end here. Some news notes, Pats Nuggets, NFL trades, and 4th of July love. All right, Shime. So I wanted to get your spin on this. How about that big trade just a couple of days ago? A lot of tight end movement. You've got Jalen Ramsey going from the Dolphins, a team that I expect to regress a whisker this year, to Pittsburgh, who's somehow putting together, so long as Aaron Rodgers isn't a complete corpse this season, a better offseason roster with manipulation and movement than I think. And they also pick up everyone's favorite former Patriot, Jonnu Smith, in exchange for Minka Fitzpatrick and some draft stock. I thought that, and then Miami coaxes former rap star and tight end Darren Waller out of retirement, offering up just a 6th-round pick for his rights to the Giants. What did you make of all that, and how does that affect the AFC East, the AFC overall?
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is trying to go for it, but it isn't quite translating. Like, this team would be really good in like 2019. Is kind of where I'm at.
I know Roethlisberger's probably like, shit, why didn't you put this team together for me, Tomlin?
And they won't like even pay their best player, which is TJ Watt. And he's technically, I guess, on the trading block at the moment. So that's a whole question mark. I don't know. I understand that they're trying to load up. I don't think Jalen Ramsey has what he used to have. I don't think that's as impactful of a trade. And Jonnu Smith, to his credit, was really good last year. And I think with Arthur Smith could be useful, but like at the same time, I think Miami is going to stink, to be completely candid with you.
Thank you. Yes, agreed.
You could take Darren Waller. I don't think he's going to do anything. I just and I really like Devon Achane. I just don't like the way that team is built currently. I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Might be the worst team in the division, to be completely honest. And then the Steelers, I don't have a lot of faith in Aaron Rodgers. I haven't, especially after what I saw last year. A lot of those stats were kind of ballooned in the second half of the season when the games didn't really matter anymore. And he was just throwing every pass to Devontae Adams, who he doesn't have this year. So I think it's kind of negligible either way, the trade. And Pittsburgh needs to worry about just signing TJ Watt and figuring it out from there.
Yeah. The Steelers, to me, will be one of those fascinating, morbid curiosity, potentially rubbernecking by the side of the road teams. Like, if they win more games than anticipated, hey, how about that? Tomlin avoids his first losing season as a head coach, and old man Rodgers still has it. Could also be an unmitigated. They got a rookie running back as well, because
Caleb Johnson at Iowa.
Caleb Johnson, that's right. Big dude with some speed. But they've just got questions all over the place. But again, Tomlin doesn't, like I said, doesn't have a losing season. So I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they put something competitive and wild card adjacent together. I agree. Miami, I think the book is out on Mike McDaniel. Sure, maybe he'll put together better stats for Darren Waller than Waller had in his disappointing final season in New York. But there's a very good chance they could be the cellar dwellers of the AFCs this year. And I think the Patriots, so long as they don't melt under that week 2 heat down in Miami, should be able to hang tough with them as well. They don't look like they haven't. Look, Waddle and Hill could, give anyone a handful any given day, but I'm not the biggest Tua guy. Is this the year maybe that Tyreek Hill finally slows down a bit? Or does his F1 Top Gear still have enough to get by most cornerbacks? I don't know. I just think that they'll end up taking a step back this year as well.
And Tua is just such an injury risk. And without him, I mean, you saw how bad that offense was without him last year. Right. Like, it's unsustainable, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the AFC North is going to be a ton of fun to watch this year. Agreed. Ravens are a Super Bowl competitor. I think the Bengals are almost a shoo-in, even with a shoddy-ass defense, for a wild card team, because the heater that Joe Burrow went on, 45 touchdown passes last year, most of which came in 14 weeks. He's out for revenge against this year, and I never bet against the Ice King of the AFC North. I think the NFC North might be the toughest division in football, though, this year, just because I think you could potentially be looking at 4 teams that could all, 2 months out from football time, lay claim to potentially being playoff worthy.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm not quite as high on Minnesota. I don't know what to expect from JJ McCarthy. So I expect them to kind of come down to earth a little bit this year. They're still going to be a competitive football team. I just don't expect them to be, another 13-win team. That Detroit team, again, will still be really good, even losing their coordinators. They'll be competitive. I think the Bears will be much, much better this year. You know me, I'm a big Ben Johnson guy. So I think that team in general will be much, much better. And then the Packers, Matt LaFleur is one of the best coaches in football. He's one of the more underappreciated coaches in all of football. And the guy does nothing but win football games. And Jordan Love's going to be healthy for the
Also just got married as well.
Entire season.
Congratulations.
Yeah, won't have to worry about banging up his knee in Brazil in week 1. So I think he's going to be
now the Chiefs are the ones that have to do that Friday night on Peacock.
I swear to God, if anything happens to Justin Herbert, I'm going to send in a petition that the NFL does no more games in Brazil ever
because
again.
the field is meant for soccer. It's a different kind of. I don't know if the NFL had a year to get a memo to roll in a new field and spend the money, or if their cheap asses were just going to roll out there and try to play in elevation in a different time zone on that's on the soccer grass. Like, that's so bad. By the way, I'm so in on the Chargers this year. I think they are going to be vastly improved. Year 2 with Jim Harbaugh, more time with Herbert, Omari and Hampton, and then adding Najee Harris to that mix as well. Like, and that offensive line just absolutely cooks as well. Watch out. And player number 100 on the NFL Top 100. Regular listeners to 6 Rings and Football Things will understand and appreciate the absolutely necessary mention of Ladd McConkey in the podcast, because I will never forgive the Patriots, nor will I ever forgive Elliott Wolf for not drafting him.
Call Fitzy Sad McConkey.
I'm gonna get a McConkey jersey and wear it, but I'm just gonna tell people I'm his brother. Sad McConkey. They're my pick for the team everyone, I won't say is sleeping on, but like, if there was a team that came from out of nowhere to compete for an AFC championship, I'm gonna say like my improved surprise team in the AFC right now is the Chargers. In the NFC, it's a tough, and there's a lot that I still think the Commanders are going to turn heads, but how do you turn heads after you went 12-5 the last year? Hart thinks they're going to regress. What do you think?
I do. I agree. I think the Commanders are just naturally going to regress this year. I understand that they acquired Debo, but like, I don't think you can kind of replicate exactly what you did last year. That was very kind of special. Like, you bottled it up and you had it for as long as it lasted, and it lasted to the NFC Championship against the Eagles. Again, they're still in the same division as the Eagles, and this Eagles team is going to be better than they were last year. So I can't see Washington replicating that. Jaden Daniels, what he did on 4th down especially, was phenomenal. And
ridiculous.
To expect you to be able to replicate that is an unfair ask. Like, I think they'll still be a good football team, but I agree. I think they will come down to earth for sure.
And I'm just not sure who else is going to be that team. A lot of people saying that it could be, could we be sleeping on San Francisco because so many things went against them last year? Might it be the Rams with the?
I love the Rams this year. I think the Rams team is going to be way, way better than people give them credit for. Offensively, you add Davante Adams to Puka Nacua. I understand you're losing Cooper Kupp, but what he did last year was way less than what Davante Adams gives you. Davante Adams can still play football on an elite level. Matthew Stafford, still, in my opinion, is one of the best throwers of the football we've ever seen in the sport. Just like pure throwing the football, it's one of the best we've ever seen. I have plenty of gas left in the tank. Sean May, in my opinion, is the best coach in football. And this defense, this defense just keeps getting better. These pass rushers are nuts. Byron Jones, guys like that, they just continue to improve year over year. Yeah. I really, the Rams are the only team that gave Philly even an ounce of fight over the course of the playoffs, and they almost beat them in the snow in Philadelphia.
Honest to God, I wish they won that game. I really do. I think they could and should have won that game. That was maybe my favorite playoff game all last postseason.
Yeah, that game was an absolute banger, and so I think the Rams are going to be way, way better than people give them credit for.
All right, Shime. I know there is no one who loves a holiday. There is no one that loves a holiday table. There's nobody that loves a holiday menu, the holiday cocktails, and everything that goes into the celebratory, mirthful joy of American holidays, and especially America's birthday, like you do. So I want you to just let the people know what's on the menu, what's on the table, what do you got going on for your 4th of July Go ahead and power rank that plate for the people.
Well, so 4th of July Eve, I'm heading over to Treehouse, going to get myself a couple bevies this evening and really kind of start my weekend off right.
What a way
And
to
then,
start it off. Happy birthday, America, you beautiful son of a bitch.
damn right. And then after doing a 4-hour program with Mego tomorrow morning, I'll head home. I'm going to slam glizzies like you read about. Holy. I've been craving a good grilled glizzy, and I've
Same.
I've been telling myself, I'm like, just wait for the 4th of July and then really enjoy it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'll have my 4-hour show. I'll hit the gym, and then I will be slamming glizzies and pasta salad like you read about.
Oh, you absolute hard. Awaken 180 Shime is such a different beast because now, like, it's not gonna be like do the radio, come home, debate a nap or a Bloody Mary. It's like, nope, gotta get a little lift in there first, bro.
Yep.
Can't spell legendary without leg day, bro. God love you.
You're damn right, Fitzy. You got to be in the best shape you can.
Listen, don't think that I won't be doing my sad dad sweat along the beach line, along the beach and coastline here in Dennisport tomorrow as well, to sweat out tonight and to make room for the 4th. Day starts off for me. My kids are at Cape Cod Baseball League camp on the Friday of every week. They invite the dads to come in for a fathers versus sons game. So I'm probably going to tear at least 2 rib muscles and probably a quad trying to jack one out of Yarmouth Dennis Park tomorrow. And then I've already been thinking about the bat flip. I want to try to get the Trevor Story one where he hit it and just somehow slid the bat behind his head. Although I may do like a Joey Bats, hit it and then just stare at it for a while, then just whip it across the field. So long as I can actually make the trot. Come home. Going to stop by local brewery, Devil's Purse. They're having a block party 10 to 2. Slam a quick Kolsch. Come home. One of my neighbors takes a radio flyer, makes a Bloody Mary train, and walks up and down the street for a couple hours. Get a little BM going. One neighbor is smoking a 15-pound shoulder. I'm on pasta salad and Mexican street corn dip duty as well. Back and forth between beach, fire pit, and everything. It is going to be a blast. And it ends in fireworks and bad decisions. God, I love this country.
It's a beautiful weekend. And it's the fact that the 4th of July is on a Friday makes everybody's week better.
This is here's a last final. Dude, I'm telling you, Stenberg's one of my favorite regular viewers, listeners, and participants here. He's the one who always busts my chops about McConkey. He gives us the fresh lines from Tampa as well. And he's a good time on Steph Diggs's Pink Ice. His suggestion, Boston needs an eating contest, but instead of hot dogs, it's North Shore beefs.
See, Fitzy, he's clearly a North Shore guy because our South Shore guys would counter with, no. Eating contest with bar pizza. Let's really get after it.
Yeah, or like just how many clam rolls can you slam? Yeah, if you were out here on the Cape as well. Oh, God,
I think too, isn't that the best way to explain the difference between Massachusetts North Shore and South Shore? Is the South Shore is known for bar pizza, the North Shore is known for three-ways?
But everyone along the entire coast celebrates fried clams and chowder.
Damn right.
Yeah. I don't know, a steak tip. I still think I'll leave you with this. I still think the Greg Hill Show needs to do just the tip, which is the great Massachusetts steak tip contest. You should have 10 different restaurants come in with their best steak tips. I'll happily help you guys round up a few. I know Greg loves a good tip.
Tempt me with a good steak tip. I am all about the tip.
All right, save that drop, and that'll do for the latest 6 Rings in football things. God, I'm so happy. The weather is good. We're optimistic about football. There's football back this month. We had the DVOA hole back on the podcast. I'd missed talking football with Shime. Hope you guys enjoyed both his NFL analysis as well as his thoughts on Drake Maye. As long as you guys are comfortable with the Pats being competitive and winning more football games, pointing the arrow in the direction of true north and being a good football team that'll make you proud again, and I think everything's going to be just fine. Have a wonderful and safe, happy 4th of July, everyone. Please don't end up like Terry. Oh, Lord, Terry. Oh, Lord. Careful with your fireworks, and make sure at least to wear a helmet and grab a trash can lid if you're going to have a Roman candle battle like a true masshole on the 4th of July. Thank you, Shime. Talk to you soon, buddy.
See you, bud.
All right, good day. God bless. Happy 4th, and as always, go Pats.